Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Chris Loves Comics. It's Friday. I hope you guys got everything you wanted out of your pull list. And I hope you guys have had a good week. I did very well for my pulls. I'm very much looking forward to next week, as everyone always looks forward to their pulls, but I'm going to briefly go over my pull list. And as always, I wanted to say thank you guys very much for subscribing to me. It really means a lot to me. I've been feeling a lot better as of late. Yeah, for for the most part, I've been doing pretty well, and I hope you guys are as well too. And I'm really glad I have this channel because it gives me an outlet to talk with you guys about great comic books. All right, so with that out of the way, we'll get started with this. Would probably be my cover of the week. This is Superman #3. Check that out. Written by Joshua Williamson. And Jamal Campbell is on art. He's doing a fantastic job with that too. This is the Matina cover. I really love this one. I have the Death of Superman foil one with Doomsday sort of shredding Superman's cape. I love Francisco Matina, and I really love the art in this book. The story is getting very interesting, and if you haven't read the book yet, please look away because I will be going over it a little bit too. But like, check this out. This is a version of the parasite Supermans that are attacking Metropolis. Such fantastic art, right? Like you can't go wrong with Jamal Campbell. But uh, so Lex Luthor ends up saving Metropolis, and Superman said, well, he visits him in prison. It's such a good dialogue between these two, and Superman is surprised that Lex Luthor didn't escape when everything was going haywire. So Superman decides to give him a gift. The same gift that look at that smirk. You just know Lex is up to no good. So that's the watch to call Superman. But you find out at the end these people that are working behind the scenes, they work with Luthor, and they said if Superman ever finds out what we and Luthor are doing, he's going to be very upset. So they're definitely setting up something. We don't know who this group of people are that are supposedly working with Lex, but this is a great book. I highly recommend it. The great art and just good old-fashioned Superman stories. If you love the animated series, I think that's a lot of it, what it comes from. I feel just it has that vibe, and I really love it. This was an interesting start. I don't know if I'm going to continue, but I liked it so far. I just have so many books. I think I have a total of like 45 monthly pulls, so it's like if I lose one book, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But this is a miniseries, and it's part of the Superman family. So this is Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow, written by Porter and the art by Lindsay. I will get you first names in a moment. Let's see. Hopefully it's in the back. It is not. Let's see. They don't make it easy for you, huh? I probably should have had this a little bit. Here we go. Kenny Porter and Yanoi Lindsay. I probably butchered the name, but pretty interesting story. Great art. I love Connor with Mont and Paul Kent. But so Superboy is he goes to the Fortress of Solitude, and that squeaking you're hearing are my guinea pigs. Oh my god, I just fed them. Alright, sorry. Getting back to it, but Superboy goes off to a far off planet to save people like he does, and it doesn't go according to plan. He ends up fighting a whole planet of monsters. But this is off to an interesting start. I think I'm going to continue with it. It's only a 6-part miniseries, so it's just good to have around. If I don't read it, if I stop reading it, maybe like I'll just get all 6 issues and then just reread it after. So it's no problem. But a book that continues to be the best book between Marvel, DC, and Indies, in my opinion, is World's Finest. Mark Waid, Dan Mora on art. You just can't go wrong with this. The art is just out of this world. I love this picture of Metamorpho. Look at that. He's just so badass. Bruce gets a call from Oliver Queen, but it doesn't sound like the Oliver that Bruce is used to, so they're pretty sure this is some sort of trick. Um, but it's just great. It's just great art and great story. I love this picture. Just Tim Drake riding Superman like a horse. This is a good book. I love it. Like Mark, you can tell Mark Waid is just having fun with this book. And like, look at this splash page up. Look at this trio. Well, sorry, this group. I forgot Metamorphos in there, but just such fantastic art, and it's a very well done book. I highly recommend it. If you're not up to snuff with this book, there's a trade out, and I think that'll get you to 1 through 6, and then I think 7 through 13 probably it shouldn't be that trouble, but you can wait for the trades to come out. Definitely give the story a try. Next up is Nightwing by Tom Taylor, and the art isn't by Bruno Redondo. It's by a guy named Pacat. I don't know his first name or her first name or their first name. Let's see. CS. Should have realized it. It's CS Pacat is the writer on the backup story. I usually don't like backup stories, but the backup story in Nightwing is very, very good. But look at the art on this. So the Titans are in hell. They're trying to recover a file from Blockbuster's daughter. Sorry, it's just there's so many characters. I try to keep track of everyone, but it's really well done. It's good. It's good banter, and it's just good art and good story. They find a file when Bruce Wayne went out with someone, and Nightwing says, he's like, that kind of makes me anxious, and I'm in hell. So it's a very well done book. I'm really enjoying Nightwing. And I'm just gonna quickly go over. Oh, well, maybe not this. Gunslinger Spawn by Todd McFarlane and Brett Booth on art. This is one of my favorite books. I love the art in this book. Brett Booth is just freaking killing it in this story, and it's just good old '90s slice and dice action comics. It starts off from the first page. You see a hole in Gunslinger Spawn. Gunslinger Spawn is fighting angels with Al Simmons, and yeah. So there's a part in here that the hole actually turns into a mouth on Gunslinger, and then he feeds the angel to his stomach. It's so good. I freaking love this story. $3 if you want just a good mindless action comic book. Like this is definitely a love letter to the '90s. It's cheap. It's good reading. Don't have to think too hard on it. It's really well done. Now next up, I wasn't gonna get this book, but the art is by Piotr Kowalski, who did the art for Where Monsters Lie. That's a very good book. The last issue is going to be coming out this month. I highly recommend you getting the trade. Where it's only four issues of a miniseries. It's just good old horror, and it's written very well. And that's also this too. It's called All Eight Eyes, and it's written by Steve Fox. I don't know him, but my friend Dave, who works at my local comic shop at TJ Cafe and Games in Milford, Massachusetts, he said he's written a lot of great books, and if you've ever seen the good bad movie Eight-Legged Freaks with David Arquette, this kind of reminds you of it. But this is really well done. I liked it. All Eight Eyes. I'm definitely gonna continue with that. And follow up is Darkwing Duck, and old Drake Mallard is fighting Bushroot, and he comes up to a decision if he just wants to stay a parent to Goslin or if he wants to be a crime fighter, because he feels like he can't do both. But he comes up to a decision with this. Fantastic art in this book and great story. Darkwing Duck, issue number 4. Next up on the Marvel was kind of light. This was Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 24. This is actually pretty good. So, Amazing Spider-Man. We all love Spider-Man, and a lot of people, I think it's a very hot or cold response. You either like Zeb Wells on this book or you don't. I love the Tombstone arc, but everything else after it's kind of felt like filler. but this is pretty good. I feel like we're getting some closure into the event that happened with Peter, Mary Jane, and the multiverse. I'm just tired of multiverse stories. Just focus on the here and now. Focus on Peter getting back with Mary Jane, because Nick Spencer kind of set that up for him to go in that direction. But writers have their obligation to do what they want. But I'm still keeping it because it's Amazing Spider-Man, and it's always going to be collectible. So I'm sticking with it. Next up, Warlock Rebirth. I know little to nothing about this character. That's Thanos, but this is the Alex Ross variant. But Warlock, I read the Infinity Gauntlet series, and I know it's like, Chris, what took you so long to read that? But you can't. I'm like 3 years into reading comics. I haven't read everything. I've read a lot, but I've loved the Infinity Gauntlet series, and Adam Warlock is a very interesting character. He has there's a lot of crossover with Guardians of the Galaxy with Gamora, and this little gnome dude, and then Captain Marvel. There's so many versions of Captain Marvel out there, it's ridiculous. But it's Pip. Yeah, it's Pip the troll. But this is very well done. It gives you a little bit of a background to Warlock. You have Thanos, you have the Infinity Watch. I love the cosmic side of Marvel ever since I was a kid, and this is kind of taking me back. But when Adam opens up a sarcophagus, you see Eve Warlock. So, new character. I think this issue is a key, but I don't know what Eve Warlock will do. But this is very well done. This is good old 80s. This feels like an 80s comic book, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And last but certainly not least, we have Red Goblin, written by Alex Packnadil. And I got the Alex Ross variant too, with good old Flint Marko, a.k.a. Sandman. And I'm really loving the Red Goblin series. I'm glad I got onto this book before it was too deep in the story, because I really had no interest in this book. But Normie Osborn, Norman Osborn's grandson, has a symbiote he calls Rascal, and the art is pretty cool. What is it? He starts off with, he's fighting some punks, leftovers of the Goblin Nation. Some spikes are coming out, and then he just splatters everyone. This is there's a other picture right there. It's just good artwork and a great story too. But Normie is still trying to learn his symbiote. He doesn't want to kill anyone, but sometimes Rascal gets a hold of him, and this is kind of touching too. So Normie is meeting a vagrant woman, and she says, "I hate it when people talk about bad dogs. Really salts my apples." I like that analogy. There's no such thing as a bad dog, just bad owners. And then the dog gives Normie a little kiss, and then he gives him a hug, and you see Normie crying. And I think Normie's starting to feel it. It's just a lot. He's a kid, and he has this symbiote, and this is just these powers, and this symbiote is, he has killer tendencies, and he's just a kid. And I think he needed to let out that cry because it's just a lot for him, and I like the emotion that was in that book. But that's it for my haul. I really hope you guys enjoyed your books, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. I will pick up my books next Wednesday. I'm picking up a couple of omnibuses today. One at my store. One I got in my mail. I got the John Byrne omnibuses from eBay and from my store. So I got volumes 1 and 2. So that'll be a good weekend reading. That'll probably take me a couple weeks. Like I said, I read a lot. But I hope you guys have had a great weekend. Thank you very much for sticking with me. Once we reach 200, I will do another giveaway. We're a little bit far away. I think I'm only at 137, but I don't want to just say only. I value each and every one of you taking the time to view this video. It really means a lot to me. I just enjoy your comments, and I enjoy talking great comics with you. But you guys have a great weekend, all right? I will post some of my books Wednesday, and I'll probably do a video either Thursday or Friday. All right? Take care, everyone. Bye.